Good.
So, was Hush, which is a very popular Batman story, was this one?
He is our commissioner.
Was it
James?
It was assigned to me happily. I've been a fan of Hush when it came out. I thought it was incredible, and that it fell to me. I was really pleased to get a shot at being a part of it.
Were you interested in being as close to the story as possible, or because of the nature of the animated medium, were you interested in adding new things to kind of make the story and feature length?
Well, I love the entire Batman Hush saga, and as soon as they do the 10-episode version, I'm watching that. But we had to get it down to 75. It turned out to be 80 minutes or so, and so we were going to have to lose things, and so it was really hard. So people were like, "Oh, that's my favorite scene. We can't lose it," But by changing a couple things, some scenes fell out, and it enabled us to keep everything we loved about Hush and the tone of it, but make it something that was animated.
Are there any other DC titles you would really like to see animated, or obviously that you'd like to write?
You know what? There's one that I read, I don't know how old it is, a couple years ago, but the War of Jokes and Riddles, I'd really like to do that one.
It's a year and a half old, yeah.
Yeah? Alright, so that one I got new. And boy, there's a Justice Society story, World War II and Nazis, and who doesn't like that? So those are two that I'd love to do.
Was there anything that you added into this that wasn't in the comic that you felt like was necessary to tell the story?
Well, because of the problem we had with length, I was looking for places where in the story there are a lot of kind of red herrings, and I was like, what would happen if one of these red herrings was the way we go, and we could totally fake out the fans, And by making a couple of those choices, some scenes fell out, and it became a little bit easier to produce. But as I said, it's a dozen book series, right? So you can't get that into 75, 80 minutes. It's impossible. So we did have some streamlining to do, and that was the hard part of it.
In the comic book, Batman is often kind of flanked by Oracle. In the animated movie, we talk about the trailer that Barbara Gordon's Batgirl. Is there a role in any scenes in the comic, or just take a new role because she's a different person?
Boy, guys, this is my first one of doing these, and I don't know if I can lay down like a spoiler here.
Spoilers.
The movie premieres in 2 hours,
Yeah.
so
Digital comes out when we all post
yeah,
this.
by the time that we post this, it's not a spoiler.
All right, if you get me in trouble, I'm fired.
We're as scared of Gary as you are,
I'm used to taking hits, no way.
Oracle got trimmed. I'm sorry.
Was there any particular character within that story that you connected with more as you were writing it?
You know what? I really like Nightwing. If there was a character whose role maybe slightly expanded a little bit, it was Nightwing. I just love writing for Sean on this, and I just thought he had a lot of great scenes in the comic with Batman and their relationship of him kind of saying, hey, this is okay for you to be in this relationship. I really advise you to do it. And Batman's like, shut the hell up. But he does listen. He respects Dick Grayson. He respects Nightwing. So it kind of shows his sway. And
which character's voice was the hardest to find?
Let's see. They were also well thought out and portrayed in the comic that it wasn't like, oh boy, this is a tough job. There might have been some characters that weren't used as much, but as I said, they probably got dropped in the slimming process. I just had we just had very good source material, right, to use. So I guess I had a little bit of trouble with Commissioner Gordon, trying to give him something different, but I think it turned out fantastic, Certainly the voice work was great.
Would you want to do a sequel for this story? Because there are obviously other Hush stories in the comics.
Heart of Hush.
Yeah, Heart of Hush. Yeah.
That would be really cool. I would be psyched to write that.
In the original comic, as you mentioned, to 12 issues, it is kind of episodic. There are a lot of characters kind of pop in, like Nightwing is in maybe one issue, Superman is maybe one issue. Did you have a problem having the characters kind of feel like they were in and out, kind of, like you said, you were expanding on them? Did that pose a challenge in terms of how to give everybody enough time in the movie?
Well, that is one of the difficulties with this, is that it is a rogues gallery, so everybody kind of appears, and then they get defeated and put on the shelf a little bit. And I've been at this long enough to know that every scene, every sentence counts, so I'm like, boy, I only got one Harley scene, but it's a doozy. I cannot blow this. Oh, I've only got like 1.5 Superman scenes. It's got to be fantastic. I've only got one Joker scene, and this thing's got to be great. So I just went over and over and over those. So that they only have a scene or so, it's like, well, Anthony Hopkins won the Oscar for Hannibal Lecter, and he was only in the movie for like 16 minutes. So I just picture these guys are coming out. I know they're going to give their A game for the scene, and I gotta make sure that I can distill how they appeared in Hush and give them something worth.
Well, because there's so many characters, whether it's a hero or villain, which one did you have the most fun writing in Attack?
Most fun. Boy, I really like doing those Joker and Harley scenes. I guess tie between those guys, but just everything. It's such a good piece by Jeff Loeb and Jim Lee. I was so happy to do it, and those so iconic, those covers, the scenes and stuff. So it was just a pleasure.
Were you aware of the story, before the movie? Did you read it before or during?
Oh, I had read it when it came out.
Oh, nice.
The funny thing was, when I first read it, I was drawn to the Jim Lee art as a fan. I don't know, right? I don't know how old I was, but that's what got me like, whoa, look at that comic. Look at that cover there, Joker with that bang gun. Look at Superman covered by Ivy's vines, right? But when I got the assignment to do it, then I really noticed Jeff Loeb's words and all the stuff he was setting up and trying to do, So I got to really read it twice and notice the two different things in different ways. Fun stuff.